Hello, everyone, and welcome to the coverage of the 2021 Thorn Spring Fling. Hunter and Trevor in the booth here. We've got a beautiful day of disc golf up ahead. Pretty tight match coming into this. We got David Deal. He's an absolute bomber. Throws so far 994 rated. Andrew Lamont. You probably know him from our previous coverage of the Central Virginia Open. We have Jason Grubb out of Tennessee. And rounding it out, we are going to have Nick Carl, sponsored by Discraft Underground. Should be a very fun card to watch. Let's hear from Nick.
So we're here at the Thorn Spring Fling. I'm here with our leader after round one, Nick Carl. So Nick started off a little bit slow during the first round, but then we're able to string together a huge back nine. Was there any difference in strategy or mentality, or did it just start coming together for you?
After the first few holes, I got like 4 pars in a row, and I was like, look, it's still early, and it's a tale of two nines over at Randolph where the front nine is all wooded. The back nine is pretty open, so really I was just like, get it through these holes with no bogeys, maybe a couple down. Once I hit the back nine, I was pretty confident that I'd shoot at least 8 or 9 down.
So we're at a much different course here now at Thorn Spring, wide open, a lot of big distance holes. What's your strategy here to attack the ball golf style course?
Keep it in bounds, obviously, and then honestly, if I can do what I just did at Randolph on the back nine, I feel pretty confident. My forehand feels great, my backhand's feeling good, and putt feels amazing, so that's the plan.
All right, sounds good. Well, best of luck to you.
Appreciate it.
All right, gentlemen. So hole one out here, we have a 702 foot. We're playing from the gold tees. Par 4, there is a little bit of OB to worry about up towards the basket. Nick going forehand.
Yep, Nick electing for the forehand here. Saws it off a bit, doesn't quite flip it all the way over. So he's going to be pinched a bit to the right and have that. He's going to have that ditch to deal with.
Yeah, the problem with, so you see this roll here, the problem is that's going to put the ditch straight in his vision where he's going to have to attack over it, something you don't really want to do.
Yep. Andrew going backhand. Typically a lot of players just going for backhand distance. The gap is a little bit tight once you get up there, so it can be a bit risky. He gets a good amount of turn on this. Appears to be headed for the fairway. He's going to get a bit of a skip towards off the path, actually, but a friendly tree keeps him in a relatively good spot.
Yeah, he should have a pretty straightforward up and down here.
David here is our furthest thrower of the group. Can absolutely smash, and he's got something special lined up here. Turn this over into a roller. Angle looks perfect.
It's got to get up, though. Oh, wow. It looks like it is standing up.
It's got a ton of speed going into the hill.
Holy cow.
Further.
There's the basket on your right side of the screen that he just passed. He's
Really?
Oh, my word. That's like...
Yeah, that's past pin high.
Holy cow.
And then Jason here going back again to the turnover backhand. More traditional line there. And fades out a little bit early, but once again, not in a bad spot, really.
One thing to note, before the round that they played this morning, leading into this, unfortunately, Nick looks like he's going in the ditch there.
Bit low.
The round they played this morning, though, was on a little bit more of a shorter wooded course.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of Jason's play style. So this wide open course, he doesn't quite have the same distance to keep up with these guys as you saw there, but hopefully his placement of his shots will be able to kind of make up for that a little bit.
Yeah, throws a decent upshot there to give himself a putt. Unfortunately, Andrew, big mistake there, leaving that short.
Did not give it enough height to get up and over.
Nick now, after throwing into the ditch, throwing his upshot.
Just trying to get up and down for his
par.
Kind of
cooks a little bit.
That's going to leave a little bit of a comebacker there.
Andrew doing the same now. Should be just a little routine forehand. Puts it out wide. Kind of stays wide, and he'll also have a little bit of a tester.
Yeah, you definitely want to be first hole. You're going to want to be more within like 10 feet on these.
David in unheard territory here. He has a very simple putter up now. Kind of solves it a little bit, but
that should be a
this
pretty
is birdie
routine.
Look. Yep. Jason now for birdie.
Oh, just sailed it.
I think the wind got under the nose there. Lifted that a bit. Nick able to cash in after that slightly errant upshot. Andrew hoping to do the same.
That was actually Nick's bogey.
Yeah.
I had said par before.
Yeah.
That was for his bogey.
Yep. Andrew also able to cash in there. Good thing to control the damage early. And then David with the relatively simple looking birdie on a very long hole. And Jason will tap out his par.
Yeah, so we have some strokes being gained on Nick early. We have David actually cut it to 1 already after 1 hole. It's a much better start than he probably expected. Andrew still hanging in the mix as we head into hole 2, a 430-foot, pretty much just a backhand hyzer. The basket is sitting on a pretty precarious hillside. Makes for some interesting upshots.
Yep. David smashing out the hyzer. This one flips over a bit.
That's the mistake to make.
That's the mistake to make, absolutely.
Everything wants to pull kind of down towards this cart path that does play as
Right.
OB, so being up on that right side, you're not upset about
The
that.
pin is almost unapproachable with how close it is to the path, so really almost a parked shot on this hole is almost a mistake. Somebody who got a little close for too close for comfort. Nick also throwing the backhand hyzer out. It's really the only play you could make here.
Yeah, it'd be pretty gutsy to go forehand.
Absolutely.
Slides into frame right there.
That one slides up there, still a bit ways from the hole. And then lastly, Andrew trying to get somewhere close. This one has some decent height. Flirts with the tree.
His also got away from him a little bit there.
I think, yeah, turned it over. So nobody's super close, and now we'll have a lot of kind of tricky layups here.
Nothing routine about this at all.
Yeah. Very scary. That looks to be
Wow.
pretty well
Very
done.
well executed from
Yeah.
Andrew there.
The jump putt's what you'd like to have here, to where you can
Yeah.
at least kind of control the nose a bit.
That was good angle control from Jason. Nick just stepped up and threw it. That was as much
Yeah.
time as he took before that shot.
And David doing the same.
David actually took a considerable amount of time. It looked like he was
Oof.
really unfortunate there.
Fortunate not to roll to the behind the path
It looked
there.
like David was considering running it, but basically was like, you know what? No need to risk it.
It's
That was
his
also a
decision.
scary putt for Nick. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was about a 25-footer, staring down, just nothing behind the basket.
Yep.
Oh,
man.
no. Not the start you're looking for if you're Jason here. Able to clean that one up.
Might be tough to tell the coverage, but as a lot of the events out in Virginia, there is a steady wind. That's always going to be a factor on almost every drive and putt.
Yeah, a lot of the scores staying the same. Jason, unfortunately, falling a little bit farther behind after that hole there. Hole 3, though, almost plays as a little bit of an island. 522 feet. You're just kind of playing a placement shot here and then worrying about it from there.
David turning this over, catches the last tree, though, and drops a bit shorter than he'd like. Nick going for the forehand approach here. Gets
That one
this
came out pretty clean.
Came out clean, looking to beat that tree, and he does, and finds himself in a good position in the open.
Yeah,
That's
should have a relatively easy up and down there.
Very much the ideal shot. Andrew going for an aggressive backhand here through that right gap. Gets the disc over. It's a little low, needs to come out of it, but it appears to be doing so.
Yeah, one thing about this hole is
And that's
that little creek that
that's a
runs
great
through the
drive.
middle, it basically makes you commit.
Yeah.
If you're going across, you have to commit, or else that creek is exactly where you'll find drives.
Yep. Jason swinging this one wide. Appears to be a bit left, but it does
Just sneaks over it.
sneaks over the creek, and it's a putt for birdie. David now with his up shot,
That's a
taking
good
the
line on it.
swinging the hyzer in. Very well done.
Great up shot.
Now we have Nick who crossed the creek but left it a bit wide with the safer forehand play. He kind of gives it a jump run, not bad, but have a stress-free par. Jason with a long look from outside for birdie. Solid bid, but just slightly wide. He'll also have an easy par.
I believe these are birdies. It's not a par 4.
Is it a par 4? That may have been my mistake.
I believe it was 500-something feet. I'd be surprised if it was a par 4.
We'll have
We
to
probably
see.
should have looked at that.
The pars are actually are pretty tough on this course.
That is true.
There's
That is
not,
true. This is not a great scoring course.
I think the shortest par 3 on this course was like 340, and it's a very difficult one.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That is a very valid point. Regardless, they're all tapping in threes.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like that was a
that's
par 3.
Yeah.
You're right. That
Okay.
is very tough. So scoring stays the same through 3 holes. Nick Carl still able to hold on to his lead. As we head into hole 4, this is par 4, 755 feet. This is an absolute gorgeous but very treacherous green, as
Yeah.
you will see as they get kind of a
The
little
drive
closer.
is fairly routine, kind of just putting a hyzer out there, getting to the open. But
You're going to want to get as far up as you can, though,
Right.
because if you're way back, the
green
upshot
approach.
is absolutely terrifying if you're going for the birdie. A lot of players will just elect to take a 4 here, to be honest with you.
Yep. Nick Carl doing a similar shot. You can kind of play for some ground action off of
He
the
had
fairway.
A lot of ground action. Jeez.
Yeah, he gets a great skip there to push his drive a bit further. Andrew also trying to pump one out there. This one appears to have a bit more height than the others. Still looking for some of that skip action. His actually doesn't quite get the same ground action because he didn't have.
Yeah, it's because he had that height on it.
Yeah.
It came into the ground a little bit softer.
Wynn was able to combat that a bit more. And then Jason, 4 very similar looking drives here. This one flips up a bit. But all of them dealing with a similar upshot, some just a bit closer than the others. And now you see that pawn there on the left as Jason here
Yeah.
would be trying to swing his hyzer
That
out
little
there.
out jut into the pond is Jason. That's a little bit of a worm burner. That
Yeah.
out jut into the pond is where the green is. It is terrifying if anyone's thinking of going for it. This is the common shot you'll see. What Andrew just did there.
I believe the path is clean though,
the path is inbounds.
because it would be
yes.
it would be impossible if that path was OB.
Nick's got an onyx in his hand here. He's going for this.
Yeah, this one appears to be very tight. It needs to sit, and it does.
Oh my word, that's right on the edge. What a
Throws
shot
up,
from Nick.
yeah.
That is with only a 1-stroke lead to play. Obviously it's early in the round, but that is scary. And David actually going PA3 here.
Yeah, trying to control the ground action, I think, and that's a good leave right there. That's what you want to give yourself. Although he would have a slightly intimidating putt from there. Jason now looks
Nothing
like
easy about that upshot.
good
even
angle
where Jason's
there.
at.
Well done.
Yeah, great. Well, very well executed.
And it really doesn't get easy until you're right next to the basket.
Yeah,
on
unless
this
you're
hole.
like jump putting up, and even at that, because like if
Andrew-
you're throwing, that's terrifying.
Andrew has a great touch putter.
Oh, right off the cage.
And yeah, you'll see this one hit the cage. Every time he gets in this range, he has a very good touch upshot with the putter, and it seems to always be threatening the basket. And this one almost
Jeez.
just comes up a bit short. Jason now.
David.
David now. My bad. My
Great putt
apologies.
for birdie there. Yeah, I'm just blown away that he went for a PA3 on that second shot. Oh, Nick almost slipped
Yeah,
out.
that one just
Because
catches.
David was in the same region as Nick back there in the fairway, and
Yeah.
he was able to get up and down with a putter, whereas Nick went with the much more dangerous shot with his onyx.
Yeah.
Just an interesting strategy there. If you have the power, it just shows the advantage on a course like this. Heading into hole 5 here. Few birdies, few pars. Hole 5 though is gonna probably cause a little bit of separation. There's a lot of OB as you're gonna see on the tee sign here. You're basically teeing from OB. If you don't make it inbounds, you're gonna have to basically advance to the next tee. Lots could go wrong. Par 4, very difficult hole.
Yeah, very difficult to clear. And you see this one out of
That's
David's
nose up.
hand. Yeah, nose up, did not get enough turn.
Yeah, it's gonna be OB left.
And that is going to be OB.
So he'll be advancing to the blue tee to tee off. When you're looking from the tee here, basically all that dead grass, that is kind of the border of where the OB ends and the safe lies begin.
Right. Nick Carl here, this one.
That's looking a little better.
Also doesn't quite turn
Oh,
it over
no.
enough, though. Yeah. I'm not sure if the wind was sneaky, but this one
Oh my gosh.
just clears.
That's like 2 inches in
Yeah.
bounds.
I'm not sure if that was even visible from the tee.
Wow. Andrew, after seeing these two, he needs to just know, keep it low and hit it hard.
And this one, he turns
Oh,
over.
That's an overcorrection.
Corrects
but
the mistake, but it will
that's
be in
fine.
play.
That is fine. Actually, little known fact, those red tractors are OB. He is actually kind of close to OB.
Oh,
right there.
really? Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't really well defined on the T sign. But yeah, he's just something you didn't really pay attention to.
Jason here. And I believe he comes
Yeah,
up
he
short
finds
as well.
OB short in the middle of that creek. So this is them advancing, now throwing 3 from this tee.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get as far up the fairway as they can now.
That looks like a decent shot. Stalls out at the
David,
end.
he stalls it a bit, but he's back in the middle of the fairway.
He's got
back
enough
in
power
play.
that he's in a prime position to at least try to get it down for his bogey. Jason, this white disc he keeps going to there is a ballista,
This one,
old ballista.
This one gets a bit nose up as well. Seems to continue to be the mistake to be
Oh
made.
boy, that's fine.
Luckily stays in play.
Yeah, you can see the line next to Andrew's foot there. He was
Yeah.
closer to OB. Oh, going
Going
roller.
here.
On golf courses, that's the play. The short grass, you can get some big distance out of it. That curls up a little bit early of the green, probably another 150, 200 feet out from the green there behind that tree. And Nick, right on the edge.
Yep.
Very fortunate to be inbounds there.
Yeah, I believe he threw a provisional beforehand, not really knowing if he was in, but
Just got that a little turned over.
yeah.
Oh, my word.
Unfortunately, a big curl there.
I thought that for a second was going to stand up and start rolling
Yeah.
right back to him.
Now Jason looking to be the first to approach the green. This one looks a bit low, but gets a friendly wind bounce.
This just likes to stay in the air.
Yeah, it's still quite a bit short. It's still a long ways from where they were. David now Going for his approach.
Trying to skip it up the hill
Yeah,
there.
playing the ground action. This one almost sneaks past the last tree, but
And he'll still have a look.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit of a long look, but a look nonetheless.
yeah, there is that grouping of trees right by the basket that you have to beat. Nick now going probably Raptor there with the forehand.
Yeah, I believe it was a Crystal Raptor.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Andrew also making his approach. Has a chance to get up and down for par. This looks to be on a pretty solid line. Catch the last branch, but he has a putt. And Jason now making his final approach.
A little high.
Kind of
snuck
flashes,
through it.
yeah.
I thought I was going to hit that branch for a second. Dave with the outside putt. That looks like a layup, I think. He was trying to do that? Question mark? Andrew's got a decent look at it
For
here.
his par here. Aggressive run.
Ooh,
Fortunate
had
for it
started to
not to
stand up.
roll, yeah.
Nick just tapping out there. That was a great upshot with his Raptor.
Yeah, good job minimizing the damage after the errant drive.
His drive actually ended up in a decent spot when it's all said and done.
Yeah, more like errant upshot,
Yeah.
honestly.
Could have been a much worse situation for Nick there.
Yeah.
Luckily, he's able to kind of extend his lead over David, kind of back out. Andrew still hanging around, but Nick's got a comfortable 3-stroke lead through 5 holes as we head into hole 6 here. Hole 6, 913-foot par 4. You're basically throwing like Nick just did out into this open field,
Yep.
and then I don't think anyone's ever going to eagle this hole.
No.
You're going to have pretty much a dead straight shot and then a hyzer approach to the green if you want to get your birdie.
Yeah.
Andrew going an unconventional route
Yeah,
there.
this was very surprising when I saw this. I was not ready to see that. But you're basically just trying to fight your way out of this gap.
Yeah, just
and
making
then
sure.
You've got 2 big shots ahead of you to even get to the green. It's way down there.
Yeah, just making sure you're out of this tunnel is
Yeah.
your only goal on this first tee shot.
David looks that one came high out of his hand.
I believe he
And
got out,
It did fight out, though.
Let's say he caught a lot of stuff pushing through that tops up, but he was still able to find his way through.
Jason last year. And I believe he caught a tree.
Yeah, he had hit a tree, and he did kick into the open here, but he's a ways back.
Yep. So now these second shots are kind of just making up as much ground as you can. It's fairly open. They're eventually going to have to get to the left of that tree line up there. But this shot is kind of all about just getting as close as you can for your approach and avoiding any trees. Nick turns us over a bit, but pushes quite a ways. Doesn't cut roll too bad.
Yeah, should be able to see the basket from there, I
Yep.
believe.
Andrew also in a decent spot off the drive, ripping this backhand.
Yeah, it's a great shot. It starts
And-
pushing down the hillside.
That's where you want to get, to where you're past the trees and you have a very open
Yeah,
look.
you almost have a flat up shot if you're that far down the hill there.
Yep.
This halo disc he's ripping on all day is a Wraith.
Yep.
He throws it very well. It loves to just flip up and ride for him.
This one fades a bit, but still in a good spot.
Yeah, he'll be eye level with the basket. Jason's got a lot of ground to make up here.
Downhill, quite a ways to the basket. This one does not quite flip as much as he'd like, and takes an interesting flare skip there. So he still has quite a bit to the basket left.
Nick going with a forehand. It's a smart choice because of the hillside he's playing
Yeah.
into. As long as he has the distance.
And this one just comes up a bit short,
Yeah.
but it was a decent line.
As I say, it's a big ask for a forehand, but the angle control, I like the decision.
I think it's a mid-range here from Andrew, trying to just power it down the hill.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of being able to get kind of down there. But it looks
little bit
like
short,
He didn't
yep.
choose quite enough disc.
David back to the PA3 here.
He throws it so
Crushes
well.
that. And
Such a great
line.
wow.
Right on the
Oh my
basket.
word! He's such a great PA3 thrower. I mean, he's choosing that disc when others are choosing fairways and mids, and
Very
it
well
just
done.
gives him that extra bit of control and lack of ground action when it hits.
It's a good upshot.
It's a big
there.
advantage for him.
Jason.
That's a business decision.
That is a
from Nick.
business decision. Yep.
Just lay it up. You have your 3 strokes.
Andrew doing the same.
One thing you do have to be careful of if you are Nick is this early in the round. Obviously that putt is a terrifying putt to run, but you can't get too conservative this early.
Yeah.
You got to still keep your foot on the gas a little bit because David and Andrew, they're no slouches out here. Also some people from the chase card. He's got to be able to stay aggressive as he heads into the rest of this round to make sure that 3-stroke lead doesn't creep up on him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
A few more tap outs here for I believe these are for birdie. Well, Nick's for par.
Yep.
David's for birdie.
Yep.
So David will gain a stroke back. I believe Andrew will as well here. Or sorry, Andrew did not. David did, though. Cuts it to 2 through 6 holes, It's something to keep an eye on. It's getting a little bit closer as we head into hole 7 here. 822 foot, par 4. Basically, your drive, you just want long and straight, and then you got a few trees to mess with. David's going back to his roller. Can he replicate what he did on hole 1?
This one did not quite stand all the way up, kept turning, and it went OB.
Yeah, so that's OB down in the
But it is a ways
trees.
down there to where his par should be pretty routine. Nick Carl just electing for the power backhand. This one's a bit high and
That's
doesn't
gonna
quite
get scary.
does not quite turn as much as he'd like.
That's
but
fading right towards the OB.
yeah, it does get down soon enough to where he stays
Okay,
in bounds.
I definitely thought that was going to be over the hill. So that was kind of a depth perception. I don't know, messing my mind.
And then Andrew throws down this roller. Now, the bunker and the green over there to the right are OB, but this one standing up right at me and actually rams over into that golf cart that was parked over there, but leaves him about 800 feet down the fairway.
Yeah, he has a decent approach shot, but it is unfortunate to hit the golf cart.
Yeah.
I don't know who would think to park a golf cart right there, but
You know, you get to a point where you think you're far enough down the fairway and you never expect to see one of the greatest rollers of all time.
I don't know if I go that far.
It was a
great
mash.
roller.
This is where everybody else was landing.
Yeah.
About 400 feet in front of me. But we'll see Jason making his approach first. You have to beat just the tree line.
And that's Heisman early.
Yeah, that one hides out early and
that's
OB.
He'll probably be about 100 feet out of the basket where that went OB.
Yeah.
Nick going forehand here. Pretty smart play, just pushing away from the OB.
Yeah, needs to beat that tree and just doesn't.
He didn't swing it wide enough.
Yeah, that'll drop him right in the tree line.
I was like, what are we looking at there?
Yeah. And then Andrew left with this, just a simple straight mid or putter shot.
Wow, what
Perfectly
a line
done.
from Andrew.
Yeah, perfectly done. And this is where David on his crush roller went.
Yeah,
OB.
if you're able to just kind of throw a soft little forehand up on an 822 foot.
Yeah, that will be his par, but still not a bad score.
Yeah, he had gotten far enough down there that he's not too worried about it. He's just happy.
Nick laying up there for his par.
This is a hard birdie to get. Obviously, Andrew's got about 15, 20 feet left for his birdie, but I feel like that's probably taking a stroke on a lot of the field, just because you have to crush a drive, and then you do have the trees to worry about on your second shot.
Yeah. Andrew with his short putt for birdie. He cashes in on that. A little bit high.
A little high there. And we'll have a bunch of tap outs here.
Yeah, I believe Jason will be tapping out a bogey after the out-of-bounds stroke, and the others will be tapping out pars.
Yeah, Jason off to a little bit of a slower start than he would have liked.
Yeah, he's had some good holes, but then kind of hits these speed bumps.
Yeah, he just getting a few too many bogeys out here. You need a lot of pars and pick up birdies where you can. So after 7 holes, we got David still 2 strokes behind Nick. Andrew able to pick another stroke back up. He's back in the mix, only 3 strokes off the lead here. And then Jason's just struggling a little bit as we head into hole 8. Par 4, 640 feet. There is an OB green and bunker just shy of the disc golf green, and then there's also OB on the left, defined by this tall grass that you'll kind of see in some of the shots.
This one out of Andrew's hand a bit low, but stays in the air and gets some ground action.
Yeah.
And he's able to push right up to the front of the green.
So off the tee, it looked like he just grounded it, and next thing we knew,
had that had some good air on it would have been on a green. So
yeah.
Fortunate there. David.
That turned a little bit.
This one turns over and actually gets to the right side of the green, over by towards the tee box.
Oh, man, almost hit your golf cart
Yeah,
again.
almost 2 holes in a row as I'm parked like 200 feet away from the fairway, thinking no way can anybody go near it.
Nick's got some height on that. Yeah, you can tell he's a little scared.
Yeah, this one fades out early enough and just lands in that perfect spot.
He picked a spot that there's as little land as possible and said,
Yeah.
I don't put my disc there.
Everybody's shying away. It is a crush to reach that bunker, but everybody's shying away from the left.
Jason going back to that ballista.
This one looks nice here from
That
Jason.
should be very safe, yeah.
And honestly,
That's
the
what you
further
wanna be.
left you are, you have a better look at
Because
the
he actually
basket.
gets to see the basket here.
Right.
The basket tucked into those trees down there.
That's
basically
a great shot.
exactly where his disc just landed.
Great shot.
The other 3, they're just looking at a green and they can't see the basket.
Yep.
They're just looking at those trees, knowing I got to get it close to those trees, and that's that.
Yep. Andrew going with just a little backhand
I
putter.
love how his up shots all come out a little nose up, just
Yeah.
allowing for that soft landing where he doesn't really have to
Really-
worry about it too much.
Really solid there. Nick going
Forehand
zone here.
Oh my! Wow.
A lot of Annie out of his hand.
I
But,
mean, I thought he just threw that straight
Yeah.
into the ground.
but it fights out and
Jeez,
works
that
for him.
is trusting your disc right there, because that was a terrifying shot.
David kind of has a backdoor route to the basket and
Skips
curls
up.
that one up there too.
Yeah, another great shot there.
So everybody plays the hole very well. See if we can get
The
a
farthest
star frame.
putt for the birdie.
And
Cash.
hits it.
Yeah, I told you long.
Jason for his birdie. Also
Nice.
able to convert, and then we got a couple tap-ins, and that'll be
Should be a star frame.
first star frame and a very rare star frame to happen out in this course, which, birdies are it's relatively hard to come by.
See, yours hit like right here, then it curled around. And
Yeah.
So no strokes won or lost there.
Yeah, great hole overall. So through 8 holes, everything's staying the same. Still pretty tight up top. There are some people from chase cards sneaking in a little bit, but no one threatening the lead too much. 699 foot par 4, playing 31 feet up this hill. Basically going to take pretty good crush off the tee. Not a ton of danger to really worry about.
This hole is so far uphill that it really makes the second shot can be a little low ceiling too, to where it is very difficult to reach this basket in 2 shots. As Andrew did, you're kind of just trying to throw your backhand out there and get into position. David, this one I believe gets a bit left and catches a tree, which really kind of rolls him back into a decent spot.
Yeah, not a bad spot
Keeps
to
him a
be.
bit closer to the fairway. See Nick going back to this pink disc that he's throwing quite a bit
I
off
believe
the
that's
tee.
a Zeus.
Probably a Zeus, yeah. This one looks to be on a great line.
Yeah, exactly where you want.
Flattens out and gets a friendly little skip, and that is in a good position.
Right next to David's. Jason going back to that ballista. He basically threw 2 discs off the tee. I don't know what the black one is that he throws a lot.
Yeah.
This one I know is a ballista. It's that old school ballista you used to see a ton of pros throwing.
Right in the middle of the fairway.
And he just kept going back and back to it over and over.
And then this upshot, way up the hill, low ceiling, and Jason just not able to
Yeah,
quite
he's a little short.
get the height. You have to hit the height perfect.
Yeah, it requires almost 500 feet of power on the
Yeah.
second shot. I feel like just because of how low you have to go.
Yeah.
Andrew going roller.
Tries
That's
to
a
go roller, but
creative move.
isn't able to get it over in this one.
Yeah.
It gets pin high, but is quite a bit left.
He does so one thing he has to worry about there is that green down there.
Yeah.
But also throwing a roller into the hillside, you're going to be fighting the hill the whole time. And it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be tough for it to get back. Nick also
takes
making a mistake a little bit wide.
Takes the forehand wide, yeah. Not able. He'll be fine from there, but not able to get near the basket.
David just trying to go up the middle, a little bit high. It looks like.
This
Yeah.
one just catches a tree limb there.
So no one's really close to the basket for their birdies. Everyone's trying to get up and down. Jason swung that wide. He's gonna be left with like a 35 or so footer for his par. Nick going back to that Crystal Raptor.
Yep. Well done. Andrew tossing up the hill for his par.
Great up shot.
He'll be able to convert on
He's
that.
so good with those putter up shots.
David now with a long jumper look at birdie.
Just never really gave it enough height.
Not quite enough height there, yep.
Jason with a long look for his par save, and then everyone else is pretty much parked for par.
Yep.
See if he's able to convert this. Oh, and he does.
Excellent
Great hit
putt.
there.
Yeah, excellent putt.
Yeah, I mean, no, not really any wobble, just
Really,
really
solid,
committed.
yeah, dead center.
On the pole the whole way. Great putt.
The rest of the players tap out for their pars as well.
And that is going to be it for the front 9 coverage. You see we have Nick Carl holding on to a 2-stroke lead over David, who's 1 stroke ahead of Andrew. Definitely going to make for an interesting back 9. Be on the lookout for that coverage as well. And thank you for tuning in.